Okay, we're with John C. Hayden, one of the co-organizers of PodcampNYC. First question, how you holding up?
Pretty good. My kids were up and sick last night, so I got 2.5 hours of sleep. I'm tired, but really good.
And how is it compared to what you expected?
I'm delighted. I mean, we had 1,300 people sign up. We don't know yet how many people actually came. But what I'm really excited about is that even though the numbers were larger than other podcasts, to me, at least, the feeling of community and conviviality, you tell me, it seems like people are really having a nice, warm time, and it's not sort of like a traditional, I don't know anybody, I'm just going to go to my sessions and that. It seems really warm.
That's been my sense so far. How do you involve the commercial entities with maintaining that unconference feel?
Great question. Well, a lot of folks, like Rita Jana, who's speaking right now, and there's a guy named Jay Brodsky from NPR who's speaking next. I just admire their work. So for me, for the PodcampNYC team, we wanted to have a vision where we invited people who are good storytellers to either present or to sponsor. So the fact that they may be from the traditional media marketplace, they may come from a corporate standpoint. Just the same way we want to break down a hierarchy between titles. For me, I also don't want to automatically say if somebody is monetizing in a huge way or if they come from a traditional market, that for some reason their thoughts aren't as valuable to where new media is going as well. So by and large, it was just saying, hey, I love your work. Would you want to come and speak? And even though they aren't doing the specific PodCamp thing, put their name on the wiki, just because they didn't know about it. So the fact that we could tell them about it. Anyway, so then it was a great way to get to find out about the event. And there's a guy named Bill Sobel. He's over here if you want to interview someone wonderful. Bill is kind of like the traditional media Chris Brogan. So I met him, and he was really good. That's Shelley Palmer, who's doing a panel at 3. He just introduced us. They had a passion for the idea, and they would introduce us to their friends at NBC or whatever. And and about a month ago, we kind of hit this great watershed where our numbers just went from 500 or 600 to 800. So.
Seeing where things are going, we were talking to Jason earlier about next year's podcast, and of course we've got to do it. How do you think podcasting and new media will be different by that?
That's a great question. I think, for me, at least, a lot of issues are about content. At the end of the day, whether it's podcasting or streaming, those are the delivery mechanisms. And people have preferences. They like downloading on MP3s, but they're able to work. Other people stream online. So I think for me, next year, a lot of us who are content creators are going to be continuing to talk about how to effectively monetize. And, remember that monetization sometimes gets, this evil, dirty feel to it, when really it also means that you want to reach more listeners. Even if you're not monetizing, how do you create content consistently that's done well that will make people want to stick with your show? So I think by next year, a lot of the technology issues, it's not that they're going to go away, but as more and more players become uniform online, as more and more devices kind of become unified to make it easier for Mac-PC combination, I think a lot of issues are going to keep going back to content.
I just want to check in with our online listeners if you guys have any questions for John.
The same question I had for earlier was, what was the biggest surprise in terms of from an organizer's point of view with regards to PodCamp?
What was the biggest problem from the organizing perspective?
Or surprise?
Good question. Well, I'd say initially getting the word out, and people from especially the corporate side of things who don't get podcasting, and also our PodCamp, PodcampNYC, has video elements and blogging, not just podcasting. So a lot of it, the first phase is sort of a general PR idea, letting people know what it was about, and then initially with sponsorship. The hotel here, our budget was about $20,000. We're almost at it. If we sell all of our T-shirts, we'll be even. But that's also a lot of work to get sponsors to want to invest.
Well, thank you very much, John, for talking to us and for everything you've been putting it together.
Well, thank you.
We'll see you next year.
Thanks for coming. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.